Your business should be able to run without you for weeks. If it can't, then you don't own your business. You own a job that you can never leave. So today I'm going to be talking about holidays. So I've just come back from a 2-week holiday and it was a lot of fun spending time with my family and I really enjoyed it. But what we're going to talk about today is having a vacation, having a holiday optional, and should you feel guilty about having time off? I'm going to argue that I think it is essential and that it is important that you take some time off to be able to recharge your batteries and give you a better work life experience. So, we're going to be covering a few different sections here, and we're going to be talking about why, in my opinion, holidays are important. So, if a business can't exist for 2 weeks while you're away, that gives you no job security. It's actually a warning sign that you have a business which has turned you into having a job running for yourself, and you don't get the benefits of holiday time and also pension and things like that. So you really should be able to make sure that the business can run without you. So building in systems and processes, documenting things, being able to delegate. So it means having a business with more than just you, and those people must be trusted before you go on holiday, because it is super important that they are in place and they have the documentation, they have the experience to be able to run their parts of the business without your involvement on a daily basis. So a business depends entirely on one person, is a fragile business, and stepping away really does give you a stress test to give you an idea whether the business is sustainable, because you don't want to be having that job. So you need to set expectations with your team and your clients in advance so that they are not just constantly bothering you about questions that they have. Really gives you a good idea about how your business is running, and it is a clear indicator whether you are the bottleneck or whether you are the thing that facilitates it, that makes sure that the business is growing and your people are, in my case, my people are doing the doing while I do a lot of strategic entrepreneurial thinking, sales and marketing to grow the business. So if your business can't exist without you for 1 or 2 weeks, that is a clear sign, a red flag that your business is not where it should be. So, second section I want to talk about, is there a case that disconnecting is a good idea? So, one of the things when I was researching about this and thinking about this is some people think that having a relaxing holiday is laziness. But in actual fact, in my view, it's actually recovery time for you and your body so that you are enabled to recharge your batteries and hit the ground running on return. So just think of this time away as just time to de-stress, focus on your family, think about spending time with them, quality time with them, and recharge your batteries. It is a cliche, but sometimes cliches are there for a reason. And I believe that being able to disconnect as much as possible. I must admit, while I was away, there was a few emails, there was a few calls, but it was like it needed my input. But very much, I would say probably 90% of the business continued to run without my direct involvement on a daily basis. So you need to be able to think about having that relaxation time. It prevents burnout. It makes better decisions in the long run because you've taken that de-stress, that downtime, and that in America and in the UK as well, you get that hustle culture, which really is important when you're on, but actually when you're off, it can actually give you so much more value when you're getting back to recharging, after recharging the batteries and being able to grow your business. And also, the next thing I want to talk about is perspective shift. Sometimes distance from the daily routine gives you clarity and can actually get you ahead. So distance from the daily routine, you get to think about, is most of your time being run efficiently? Are you really doing what you need to do to be able to grow that business? Or, as I've mentioned a few times, is it just a job? Stepping outside of your normal environments lets you see life and business from the outside. Often being part of a business and running a business is you're very much in it, and you can't get that zoom out stage. You can't get that zoom out perspective. So going away for a week or two can really give you that perspective of, am I doing too much? Am I not doing it in the right area? Am I not delegating enough? Have I not documented enough that's going to be able to grow this business to that next level? So often you get, so what I do is at the start of the year in January, I look at objectives and goals that I want to achieve. And then at that 6 months, it's actually 7 months in often cases, usually July I go away. That gives me a perspective on, am I on target to be able to reach those goals that I want to reach? So stepping out, zooming out, giving yourself time to breathe, to think, is really a great way of being able to give you that perspective on what growth is and what your involvement should be. Sometimes the best business insights come when you're relaxed and you're thinking about other things, and often time with family is super important. It's super important for me. So having that downtime, focusing in them all the way is super important. The other thing is seeing other cultures, going to other countries. It exposes you to new ways of living, different ways of living, I should say, working and solving problems. Just come back from Portugal. And one of the things that I was so impressed with being out there was people, customer service. Didn't matter if it was a hire car, in a supermarket, in any sort of environment when we're doing visits and things to places. The Portuguese customer service was so good. They spoke English very naturally. They appreciated you trying to speak a little bit of Portuguese, but they were super supportive, super helpful. And it really gave me a perspective of, like, when I'm dealing with clients, when my team are dealing with clients, it really is important to really up your game when it comes to customer service. It makes a huge difference. It makes the customer feel really appreciated and wanted. And in other cultures, it doesn't quite happen that way. The French culture is very much, it's quite difficult in living in France or being in France, because they don't really want you there. The Portuguese I found so interested, supportive, and customer service was brilliant. Also, it can give you, seeing other cultures, going to other places, seeing other things can really inspire you and create an idea of creativity in your life when you get back. Short shifts of taking time off can give you a major perspective on your everyday life. And the return, when you come back, do you feel renewed with more energy? Do you feel inspired? Do you feel rested and on to the next challenge? That fresh perspective can give you better decision making, and it just isn't just a constant grind. I'd not taken any time off this year at all. This was the first 2 weeks I was away. So I found this time so refreshing. And now I'm really excited to get back into the world, into the business, driving that forward. And I don't feel that it's time lost. It's been an investment into making my output and the clarity of thought so much more. So just think about that when you're thinking about taking a vacation. I would definitely urge on the side, taking that time off, getting that perspective, recharging those batteries, a great way to be able to get you geared up for the second half of the year. So what do you think? Do you think holidays are a good idea? Do you take vacations when you're in your term of year? So just think about that, because you need to think about whether this is something sustainable in your business to stop burnout. So I think it's a really good idea. I think you building your systems there to be able to stop the mistakes from happening and making sure your team is supported and know what they're doing. Fresh eyes, fresh culture they're going to. It can give you a different pace of life. It can shake up new thinking, and you come back an energized, revitalized person. Look, that's all I've got for you today. If you've got something from this conversation, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel wherever you're listening and watching. It genuinely helps more people find the show. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, drop a comment below about what your biggest takeaway of this conversation is. And if you're on Apple or Spotify, consider giving me a 5-star review. I would appreciate it. And if anyone is needing to hear this, please do share it with them. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for your time.